2 weeks ago, some parents were talking to me about discipline, and I sounded like a funny little academic because I went back to when I was at university at the end of the 60s in Melbourne, and we were studying theology, and we had to study biblical, Old Testament Greek. And to my joy, I discovered that disciple and discipline came from the same root source. And in fact, discipline means to follow the higher path. And apart from the letter, or the word K-A-I, Kai, which means and it is about 4,000 trillion of them in the New Testament, my Greek stumbled but stayed with this idea of discipline being following the higher path, and therefore a disciple was one who followed a higher path. Coming back to children, what I want you to do is take that notion and use it as you think, how do I discipline my child? Put aside all the garbage that you see about people, should I smack them or shouldn't I smack them? Should I this or should I that? Just come back and ask yourself, how do I bring out the very best in the child? How do I nurture the soul that is there? Because this soul has massive ability, but it also has great imperfections, and fundamentally it is coming to you as the child who is seeking from you guidance and training. It needs you to teach it how this world operates. Look, it might have been in South Africa or an African tribe in recent lives. It might have been in a monastery. It may have no idea how the 21st century culture in Australia or Europe operates, and it's up to us to give that training. So we follow the higher path. How do we do that? Well, number one is we don't indulge the child. We use heart thinking. Think from the heart, what is the best in this situation? And then work through understanding, particularly with your partner and other family adults, that often we misunderstand what it is a child is doing. We see the result and we think they're being naughty because maybe they've gone to the bath and started getting scoops of water and dropping them on the carpet or on the towel in the bathroom. So that's naughty. Wait a moment, maybe it's the child learning about water. It doesn't need you to clap it and give it a Nobel Prize for being clever. It needs you to understand and say, let's do it differently. Let's get a bucket. Why don't we put the water in cup by cup? So that you take the activity which potentially is a disaster or could even be a major problem and turn it around by thinking and then working to understand that the child is trying to learn. Encourage it to follow the higher path. Encourage it to go in a different way. Remembering that the child wants security. The child wants us to surround it with guidance and with patterns that will allow it to grow. In that process, I guess there are a couple of things that I'd really suggest we do. One of them is be sure that you use yes a lot. Make your yes, yes. Yes, we can. And not, well, it's time we had dinner. Say, are we all ready? Yes, it's time that we sat down together. Yes, we can eat together. And make it a celebration rather than just one more serious thing. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Come on. It's joyful. Make your yes, yes. Conversely, be very careful when you use no. Think first and make sure that it requires no. And then be very clear, make your no, no. It's not negotiable. No is no. But please don't expect the child to just hear it and think, oh, that's nice, I won't disturb them anymore, I will just not do that. Understand that the child will be wanting to learn and experiment. So one of the best things to do when you have the opportunity to use your no is then to work with what I used to call the distraction principle, and I must say I've renamed it to the redirection principle. Move on. Say, no, we're leaving that over there. Might be the car. The car door is closed and that's an end to it. Ah, come over here now, let's see if we can open the front door. Move them forward and understand that they are wanting this massive brain to have endless new information, new experiences. So if the no is no, move on. Don't deliver a sermon. Move on with a redirection. Take the energy and put it somewhere else. And in that regard, use the great ability of questioning, because questioning will always take the mind into the next location. How do you think we're going to open the front door? If I gave you the key, would you be able to reach up? Or do you think I need to lift you up? Just put some extra imagination in, and the no, whatever it was, leaving the car door closed or whatever, will be behind us. It'll be a past experience. But the child will have heard. It will know that that's a no and that this is a possibility. In all of our work, I think it's really important to understand that discipline needs us to have house rules. A kid may come and be a visitor, screaming through your house, running from top to bottom. Then just say, wait a minute, could I have all the quiet people over here? Could I have all the quiet people over here? Just wait. And you'll find that that little noisy one might be an 11-year-old, might be a 2-year-old, will eventually come over to you and say, you know, in this house, we just talk quietly. If we're going to shout, we do it outside. And just have it as a house rule. So discipline is always just following the higher path, wanting the child to be continually the learner, our role to train and to guide. And there is a statement you might like to come back to and perhaps put it on the web at some stage, but otherwise take it as dictation, that discipline is love expressed as conscious guidance. Discipline is love expressed as conscious guidance. It allows for growth and for imperfection, whilst nurturing, and this is the key part, whilst we nurture genius and uniqueness. Sit with that for this week and have a joyful week and follow the higher path yourself too.